Hey guys, welcome to another colour along. This colour along is from Christmas Tiny Homes, and I'm following along with my rolling into Christmas, colouring whatever I want. And as you can see, a little while ago I started playing with this page, and I loved the way these green colours. I love lime greens, and I've been told that I'm colourblind because of my love for lime greens, but I'm sticking with it. And even though it's Christmas, here are my lime greens. I think this one was painted with Derwent Inktense. This one was with Polychromos, and this one I did with markers and mixed with Polychromos, just to see the difference in all of those different mediums. So today I thought, let's finish this page. So I'm just going to play with my Derwent Inktense to start with, just to see how that, if I was correct in my remembering, because I think I did this last year in this whole book, and this is when I painted it, so it's a little bit of a long while ago. I was going to use my little brush, but I think I'll bring in a colourless blender. See what that does. Yeah, sort of fun, and I think yellow was, I think that might be all Derwent Inktense. I'm just going to see what happens when I use my markers. I'm becoming addicted to my markers. I'm not sure if that's a good thing, but it's a thing. All right, I think orange is the roof tiles. Now I do have the sheet of acetate and a piece of paper underneath this, and it does have a black on the back of it, which seems to, when the page gets wet, it looks really dark, which is a tad freaky, but when it dries, it doesn't dry that dark. It's just that the black's sort of showing through the wet paper. This is French vermilion. And I'm just going to add some little shadows around the bottom of these tiles. So my light's sort of coming, I guess it's coming from here, but I'm shadowing my tiles nonetheless. And I'm just going to add a little bit of dark shadow. I'm not sure what I did for this shadow, but I think I used like these purpley violet Inktenses maybe. Well, for this one I might play with a little bit of water. Well, this isn't water, this is isopropyl alcohol. Yeah, so I think this is fun, and seeing the coloured pencil, the Inktense, and like the Inktense watercolour pencils and the markers can all give you a really similar result. I'll see one more house up here, so I'm going to just apply that same principle to this. green. Straight back into my colourless blender. Oh. Alright, I think this door is red, but I'm going to underpin it with orange. And then French vermilion. This is coral red. Now I've got all these little Santas running around. So I'm going to maybe get them red, but instead of going straight red, I'm going to play with making them orange first. I'm going to do that blend from the orange to the French vermilion to the red. Orange, French vermilion. Just gives, I think, more life than just having a straight colour. And then the coral red. And I'm just going to do that to all the Santas. I'm tempted to do the snail's shells in red. It's Christmas after all. What do you reckon? The red Christmas snail. I missed out the French vermilion on that one, I think. I sort of like that clean. It's muddied up a bit, I think, with the French vermilion there, so I'm going to put that aside for now. Those three little guys are all on a mission. This guy's sort of just standing there looking grumpy. I'm wondering if this is a huge shopping centre with all big Christmas displays and these whole thing. People who are employed to dress up as Santa. Wondering about trying to work out where are the shoppers. I can't see any shoppers. Maybe that could explain what's going on in this picture. Maybe it's a Christmas themed Comic Con. There's a Santa. Got to find them, that's the trick. I've had my canary yellow out before. I'm just going to give him a little yellow belt buckle. Maybe a yellow sack. Alright, this is warm grey 200. That's pretty dark. Let's see if I can find a lighter. Oh, I'll stick with it. Maybe we'll go with this cool grey. And this blue grey. So what we can do with that. I realised this morning that it's only 3 weeks till Christmas. I'm not sure how that happened. Happened pretty quickly. Alright, what I need to do now is to find my pastel peach, which I'm sure is about to run out, considering the amount that I use it. Alright, there's my pastel peach. I'm just going to bring in some pink Madder Lake. And I'm going to get a nice crisp nib. I'm going to give him some pink cheeks. All these little Santas. I'm not trying to suggest anything with their pink noses and pink cheeks. Maybe it's cold. Well, I'm just going to bring in some, what is this? Green gold. Because I don't want these bags to be yellow. I just wanted them to have a yellow base. I could build some colour in. Still leave little yellow highlights showing through. do a little bit of that yellow in his, that green gold, green gold in his beard. Alright, I've got my Derwent Inktense, and this is crimson, and I'm just going to do all, because I've got these lines, and I'm just going to do all those shadows in that crimson. Whoever drew this illustration pretty much forced our light to be coming from here through the shadow lines, so I'm going to work with it. I don't know what they were thinking, dictating terms like that. I mean, come on. I got a message the other day from someone who has a horror of snails. And they were saying that they couldn't buy any of my books because they're too scared of finding a snail in it. And I realised I do draw a few snails. But I didn't realise people had an aversion to snails. I know some people don't like cats. I've had some complaints about having cats in my books. Snails was a new one for me. So I went through some of my books that I didn't think had snails and listed them for her. So these are the books that don't have snails or only have one snail. So she could still colour one of my books, but she didn't have to confront her horror of snails. I'm not really keen on snails, if you find them in your garden, eating your herbs. That's not fun, but I quite like drawing them. Alright, that's Inktense, so now I'm just going to go and activate all of that. Actually, might get to my colourless blender. I'm not sure why, but it just seems to maybe it's the pressure on it makes it sort of blend together a bit nicer. All right, I'll bring back my orange and my coral red. And I'm just going to go and colour in the little holly berries. Oh, while it's still wet, I'm going to bring the red in. I'm going to make this some of that orange. Right? If I do the red, or I might do the... No, let's do the red. All right, let's find some more of those holly berries. Look at this mushroom. It's crying out to be red, isn't it? It's a Christmas mushroom. I was wondering if Santa Claus sidelines during the non-Christmas season as a garden gnome. Steps up in Christmas, all through December as a Santa. When the Christmas season's over, back to the gardens. Look like little garden gnomes, don't they? While I'm doing reds, look at this heart. Should be a red heart or a green heart? Maybe that should be a green heart. I'm going to make this present red. Maybe a red wrapping with a green bow. I have plans for this picture which include lime green. I apologise in advance if you dislike lime green. I think that's maybe why I draw lots of little aliens in vats. So I can use lime green toxic looking liquid to put them in when I colour them. Well, as we roll into Christmas, guys, and we're wrapping presents here, I hope you guys have got all your Christmas plans in place, your Christmas presents worked out. I've got a few of them done. But last weekend, as I think I mentioned in another video, we had a huge electrical storm which blew up our fridge and blew up the dishwasher and blew up lots of other things in our house. And I think that our presents to ourselves this Christmas may include a new fridge and a new dishwasher. And getting the gate fixed. So that's exciting. Well, if we're going to do this present red, I'd probably do this present green with a red ribbon. So I'm trying to restrict my colour palette here. I've got my Christmas red switched are tending towards orange, and I've got my Christmas greens which are tending towards lime green. So it's Christmas with a twist. I'm going to put these aside for now, but I'm sure they'll come out later. And what I might do is bring in some greens for that present and that heart. And I was going to use this marker, but I might bring back the Derwent Inktenses, and we'll start with the heart. Colour it all in black. And just hit it with the colourless blender. Which I think I've still got all my red on. Yeah. And now I might bring in this green Polychromos for, actually, I've got a bit of Prismacolor here. I'm just going to leave the dots, the yellow. I've got a darker Prisma. Now I'm bringing in my yellow-green, I think. Yeah, I'm going to do that. See if I can leave my dots white. I might make those dots some of this sort of lighter yellowy. So I'm just trying to work out which pictures to colour as I roll into Christmas. I'm starting out with a Christmas book, and I've got some Christmas images in hide and seek, which I might, or a Christmas image. I'll probably try and get onto that one. But what I shouldn't do is forget Mountain King, because there are still so many images from that book that I'm really keen to keep pushing. Now I've got this green Inktense, and I was wondering about playing with that Inktense over the top of that. What would that do you think? Sort of fun, isn't it? As far as things to colour, I am tempted to go right back to steampunk houses. because those houses are heaps of fun to colour. That's what started this whole colouring book thing off. I was drawing those houses and colouring them just for fun, for myself, posting them on Instagram. And then the whole COVID fiasco hit, and I lost a whole lot of work through my design business, and I thought, you know what, I'm going to publish a colouring book while I'm stuck at home. And people seem to like it, so I've continued doing it. Well, it's looking really joyous to me. I'm just loving it. I'm going to test out one of these spots. Oh, good, don't they? If I do the spots this lime green, yellowy colour, maybe I should do the ribbon that same colour. What I haven't played with yet is gold ink. I reckon maybe I should bring some gold ink into this. Just going to try and clean all the green off that before I... So I'm going to make this one green, so this green balances, but I think if I make this one green it'll be too much, so I'm going to make this one light, this yellow spot, the yellow colour. I think that'll balance out, and then all I'm left with is trying to work out what to do with that great big thumper. Bring in another, just slightly darker to before I wet it. Just add some subtle little shadowing without taking the whole box into a green. I'm hoping if I put it in now, it might blend in a bit. There we go, we'll see how that goes. Rightio, where's my colourless blender? There it is. You can see those prints on the other side of the page. Because it's wet, they'll go away later. I think these Inktenses are fun. The way they activate, become really vibrant. Nice. Right, I'm bringing back my yellow green. I'm going to attack this one while I remember. In the back of my head, I'm just trying to work out where I'm going to put my gold. Could be fun to do this as a gold ribbon maybe spotted about a few different places. All right, I think this was the color I used to shadow that. I'm going to do the same thing to this. Should be a bit easier because I don't have all those spots to navigate. Right, I'm going to bring in a green for the holly leaves. And it's going to have to be the darker green, isn't it? But I still think it should be maybe a deep olive green because I don't want to go into the blues because that's a whole other thing. So I'll keep it in the yellow greens. So maybe vivid green and deep olive green. Well, let's play with this and see how we go. Well, it might be dark enough. Oh, deep olive green sort of makes it fun. The trick with these markers is to just keep going. If it gets a bit streaky, go back over it until it's doing what you want it to do. And then when you're blending, you can either leave it to first coat to dry in a way, and then when you go over it with a darker colour, say it will show up darker and there'll be a more distinct line. But if you put that darker colour on when it's still wet, it'll tend to blend in to all the wet, which is the effect I was looking for there. So you get a little bit of lighter green highlights, but the darker green sort of anchoring it down, which I think is fun. So I'm going to do all of those holly leaves the same. I'm going to add that darker colour while it's still wet, so I'll do each leaf at a time. I'm just contemplating doing this big parcel dark green in the middle. I don't know if it'll mud it in or if it will, I think it might anchor it, the whole thing. I'll continue contemplating that, but in the meantime, let's talk about the snails. Let's talk about having lime green snails. Well, this is yellow green, so I guess they're yellow green snails. I think that's going to be fabulous. I think that's all my snails. Right, where's my Inktense? I'm going to do the same treatment to these guys as I did to the other, this present. got a brown grey. Oh, look at my brown grey. I'm going to make whatever is in this cup. Tea? Coffee? One of those. What I also thought I'd do is these shells. Yeah, do that. Actually, I might leave the lips white. Well, I've got my brown out. I'm going to make this dog. I'll leave little white feet on him, a little white spot. Maybe a white tail. Alright, I brought back my gold, my green gold. I'm going to grab this Prismacolor, and it's a sand colour. I thought this could be a good colour for the rims of the snail shells. Maybe even to have those stripes they have on snail shells. It makes that bone a little bit of sand, just lightly. The other thing I was thinking was these little tickets should be like manila folder coloured. Oh, there's only 2 that are labelled. Let's talk about the bottom of this mushroom. I'm going to bring back my orange for this guy. I can't remember if I used my coral red or my vermilion on that French vermilion. Let's kick that in and see what it does. I'm going to do my French vermilion there and bring in my coral red for here so it looks shadowed. And then my French vermilion, these stripes maybe. And I'm thinking this little Fido, that's the name on his house there. We should give that a name. It's going to need a Christmas bowl. Lovely red Christmas bowl for Fido with maybe a red collar. All right, I'm bringing back my vivid green. And I'm going to use the same greens, the same two greens, the vivid green and the deep olive green to do the ribbon on this. I've been thinking about this and I'm thinking maybe it would be better red and orange. Lift that. Just worried about to do that dark green in the middle. Let's sink the whole page. Do you ever wish that colouring pages had Command Z? Sometimes I wish that. Oh, I like that. I'm going to do that on some more. See how it goes on the red present. I think I'm going to have to do this too. Oh, I might leave that. I might do this ribbon. I'm committing, guys. Ah. Bring back my lime green Inktense, which is sherbet lemon. Oh, no wonder we like this colour. Sherbet lemon. I'm pretty sure I used to have a lolly called a lemon sherbet. I remember them being quite tasty. Right, this is apple green. Lemon sherbet, apple green. It's beginning to feel like Christmas. And I'm going to leave it sort of light. I'm going to bring in my colourless blender. Check that it's not full of some horrific dark green colour, which it is. All right. Now this is looking all brown and muddy, but because it's pulling that black through from the other page, when it dries, it should look like this. Cross my fingers. I would, but there's a pen in there. Well, that's a happy little green colour in the middle. I'm glad I went that way. I think the dark green would have been a terrible mistake. The red might have worked. We've still got those stripes to do, but that's where I'm thinking I'll bring in my gold ink. Right, this is my vivid green. I feel that what I need is a warm grey, a really light warm grey. Is a warm grey 140. I just want to add some shadow into this bone china without making it anything other than white. This will just give me a little bit of shadowing, but hopefully leave it white. All right, here's a gold ink pen. I'm just going to start out with this strip around the rim of my cup. Well, almost the rim. I'm tempted to give it a gold handle too. Well, I'm liking the gold. What if I put some gold on my snails? I think they'd like it. I think they like glistening. Like this cute little one, a baby snail. All right, I've done it. I've coloured here and I have to wait for it to dry, otherwise I'll just smudge it. Maybe I could just lift my hand. Ah, gold ink smudge. I'll go up here. I was thinking of colouring these stars gold. Because it's Christmas. Now the other question I have is what happens to the background? I'm going to leave it white. I sort of like it white. I was wanting this ribbon to be gold. That would look great against the lime green polka dots. Lovely. And what about these stripes? We can do these stripes without smudging everything. one last bit of gold. All right, I'm going to find, putting back gold, copper. I was wondering about shadowing the copper. Using the copper as like a gold shadow. I reckon sort of works. I'll do the same thing here. All right, I need a warm grey, a light warm grey. That's not warm grey, it's pastel peach. Here's a light warm grey. And I'm just going to do this little ticket here. Oh, look at all that black come through. Whoa. All right, I have my white Posca. I'm hoping it'll work today. So I like the white Posca because when you use it over markers, it tends to sort of soften a bit. So your highlights blend in and they're not quite so stark. But then that can also be the downside because you want some white. If it disappears too much, sucks too much of the colour out, you lose the highlight effect. Well, it seems to be working beautifully for me today. I really want these ribbons to sing. Alright, we're almost there. One last thing to do. This book belongs to me. I'm going to call that complete. Well, I enjoyed that so much. It was fun to finish off the page I'd started as a little tester. All that was months ago. Just in time for Christmas. So here's your Christmas Tiny Homes book. The thing I love about this book is it's got 25 illustrations to colour, all of which are Christmas themed. But in the back, there's a build your own Christmas village, and you have all of these little things you can colour, cut out and build. And I've got videos to how to create them all on my YouTube channel down below. And fun, that's all I can say. And this is just page one. This is the book belongs to page. How much fun was that? Oh, you need this for Christmas, guys. Anyway, that's me being excited to colour a whole page for Christmas. I hope you've enjoyed colouring this page with me. Certainly enjoyed, and I appreciate that you're watching it. I shall see you in another video. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Bye for now.